Into this evening. Also a coastal flood advisory for this morning's high tide cycle, basically going on right now down over parts of the Jersey Shore. Could be some minor splash over. We get the new moon. We also have an onshore flow. But the big story is this cold front approaching right now, moving into western parts of Pennsylvania. This will race off to the east and provide some heavy downpours early to mid-evening. And along that line of downpours, some strong gusty winds. Could be talking about 7 o'clock areas west of the city, right around 8 in the heart of our viewing area, including New York City, more like 9 to 10 on the eastern parts of Long Island. Maybe some gusts up at about 50 miles per hour as that line moves on through. 48 right now in the city, 30s off to the north and west. Actually recovering into the upper 50s to around 60 by later on today. It's some sun, giving way to clouds, increasingly windy during the afternoon, but the strongest gusts come in during the evening hours. In terms of rainfall, we might get away with mainly dry daylight hours, and then the rain comes in just after dark, heaviest of which right around 8 or 9 o'clock in the city, clearing out later on tonight and becoming much colder in your AccuWeather 7-day forecast coming up. Michelle, back over to you.
All right, thank you so much. We begin this half hour with the coronavirus pandemic, and a school shutdown in New York City might be looming. Governor Cuomo warns Mayor de Blasio against making any quick decisions, saying that a school's positivity rate, not just the city's, should be considered. Parents seem to agree. A rally was held in Foley Square to keep schools open. Yesterday's 7-day rolling average ticked down from Friday, but the numbers are still possibly a problem. Eyewitness News reporter Diana Rocco joins us live from the Upper West Side with details. Good morning, Diana.
Michelle, good morning. The school community remains on edge as all eyes are on these rising COVID rates. It's going to depend largely on what today's numbers are, and we'll find out what those numbers are coming out at about 10:30 this morning. But right now, schools will be open because that 7-day rolling average is hovering just under 2.5%, and 3% is the margin where the mayor said he would make a decision to keep schools closed and send students home to learn remotely. He and the governor seem to be at odds on this one, and parents and students rallied in Foley Square yesterday, holding signs demanding city officials keep schools open. They say random testing and safety precautions have kept positivity rates low in the classroom, and they feel that schools are safe and in-person learning is necessary. Governor Cuomo seems to agree, suggesting city officials consider adding the low positivity rate, taking it into effect in schools when they make a decision to keep schools open or to send everyone home to learn remotely. This affects about 50% of New York City school kids who have opted in to learning in person. Ultimately, the governor says, though, the decision is up to him.
I have the authority to order him to keep the schools open. To me, the school decisions, we have 700 school districts. The state set parameters on that the local school districts have to be within. The city's plan is within those parameters.
So we will see what happens, and right now schools are open for in-person learning tomorrow. We're live on the Upper West Side. I'm Diana Rocco, Channel 7 Eyewitness News.
Thank you so much, Diana. Some churches in New Jersey are serving as pop-up COVID testing locations. St. John's Lutheran and St. John's Baptist in Jersey City opened yesterday morning for anyone who wanted a coronavirus test. The Jersey City Department of Health says more sites will open in places like senior centers and in public housing buildings because they have experienced a spike in new cases.
More coronavirus testing at a pop-up site in Flushing. United Sikhs organized the free event in coordination with a food pantry. The tests are self-swabs. Results come back within 48 hours. The group, bless you, the group has focused its efforts on disadvantaged communities.
The microsites are very flexible, so we can show up at any location where there are a lot of people, and we can test hundreds of people on that site.
People that are more vulnerable are the older generations who do care, but they don't have access. They can't just go walk into the hospital. They might have language barriers. They might have financial barriers. So I think this is the best place.
Organizers were prepared to test up to 4,000 people, and you can keep track of the constantly changing cases in the 5 boroughs with this interactive zip code tracker available right now at ABC7NY and on our free news app.
A lot of people are out of work. There are alarming numbers traced to the pandemic. The number of unemployed Americans who have been out of work 6 months or more increased by almost 40% in October. More than 21 million Americans are claiming some form of unemployment. But federal relief is running out. The Pandemic Unemployment Assistance Program expires at the end of December, and those who rely on federal assistance to get by face uncertain futures.
I've never been one to count on the government for help, but I've also never been one that's been in a pandemic and had a country shut down either.
The normal social safety net in this country has a big hole in it, and usually the backup employment options are just not there. So some of the long-term unemployed have very little option right now.
Congressional lawmakers remain deadlocked on a new COVID relief package. Now,